in those moments of reflection and in those moments of quiet and in those moments of prayer, people popped into my heart that were like, you should call this person. And that was completely divinely given. Like, it was not somebody that made sense in this situation, I should talk to this person. It was, for some reason, you should reach out to this person. And so I reached out to that person and had a conversation that really blew my mind. And then that discernment over, God, what are you telling me next? Call this next person, talk to this person, seek counsel with this person. Welcome back to the Low Bottom High Rise podcast with me, Moira Casaba. And have I got a treat for you guys today? I get this question a lot in these Ask Me Anythings. I get it in different ways, shapes, and forms, right? And I'm here today to share with you that I just walked through this in my own life this week. And so it's very fresh. And I can tell you it's gold. It's gold. So this is, in any regards to how do we make tough decisions? How do I navigate such and such? How do I decide whether I should do A or B? It came up in my life with one of my kids, trying to make a big decision that would change the course of the future, right? That if I decide to do this and not this thing, then that changes everything that we thought we had planned out, right? Which is really hard as a mama bear when you've kind of seen it one way and you see the future and you're, helping them along in that path, and then they want to do something different. And that can be the same thing in our careers. Everything we've done up until this point has prepared us, and we've been on this track, and gosh, now I'm being called to do this other thing, and it doesn't make sense. And all the reasons in my mind are telling me not to do this, to stay on this old path, but my soul is calling me to this new thing. Whatever decision it is that you're trying to make in your life. And I can remember this so clearly because it was literally 5 nights ago where we had days upon days upon days of thinking about it and, having conversations about it and listing all the reasons why we were doing this and not this. And I finally had to surrender, right? I had to surrender my will. And I remembered something that somebody shared with me probably almost 20 years ago. She was one of the people I've loved the most in my entire life. She was like a spiritual mother to me. And I remember her saying way back then, whenever you're trying to navigate something tough, you need to pause and do 3 things. And I've taught you guys on this podcast to just pause and do the next right thing, right? It might be like, I just need to take a breath and go eat some food. I might need to take a breath and go take a shower. I just need to kind of put one foot in front of the other. But to discern, right? It's a big word. We need to be in discernment over really big decisions in our life. And what does that mean? So for me, what she told me is the 3 things. She said, you need to ask God, which is the first thing to fly out the window when I am in major decision making. I get so caught up in my head that I literally forget to pray about it. So that is first and foremost, God's will, God's will, God's will. What is your will? Please, give me the clarity, show me the path. And the second one, I feel like, is where God shows up a lot is, seek counsel is how she put it. But that's, pick up the phone and have conversations with lots of different people that maybe have walked this path, that maybe would just have good advice. And that is going to be such a huge piece because God works through people, right? That's going to be such a big piece of giving you the clarity that you're looking for. I can tell you this past week, in those moments of reflection and in those moments of quiet and in those moments of prayer, people popped into my heart that were like, you should call this person. And that was completely divinely given. It was not somebody that made sense in this situation, I should talk to this person. It was, for some reason, you should reach out to this person. And so I reached out to that person and had a conversation that really blew my mind. I thought, I don't know why I'm reaching out to this person because I know what this conversation is going to sound like. And it was a completely different conversation that gave me insight, that gave me clarity, that taught me things and informed me of things that I was completely ignorant of. And then that discernment over, God, what are you telling me next? Call this next person, talk to this person, seek counsel with this person, and more clarity and more information. and more things that I didn't think of or didn't realize, right? Number 3, get in the word. If you're a believer, get in the word. And I'm not getting in, I don't get in the word, the Bible, as much as I should, but I'll go to, devotionals. I'll go to things like that. And so whether I should be getting in the word more, but go to things that that can just help provide you that clarity. So 1, 2, 3, pray about it, ask God for help, seek counsel, get in the word. And then I'm going to add my 4th one, which I have shared. I don't know if I've shared it on this podcast, but I've shared it on my social media. Let the sun go down on it for 3 nights. My mom taught me that. And I can tell you, whether you're just wanting to respond to somebody with a text message in the moment, it's like, step away, let the sun go down on it, because that's a decision, right? How am I going to respond to this? Or whether it's this huge decision that you're in discernment over, I just got to give it time. I just got to let it land. And when we do that, we come to a place of clarity and a place of peace that we can never get to when it's just our brains with our brains, right? With our thoughts, with our own thoughts. And so I hope that helps, because I can tell you, I cannot believe that with this decision for my family, that we are embarking down this road that I never thought I would be on in 1,000,000 years. But I have peace and I have clarity, and it was God guided. And I got to show my son that path, right? I got to show him what you do when you have a really big weight on your heart, when you have a really big decision to make. And so share that with your kids, because it's powerful. And that to me was really the most important piece of all of this. I'm like, whether we do A or B isn't weighing as much on my heart as, how do I teach him how to make tough decisions so that he'll have this template and this skill for the rest of his life? That's powerful. So I hope that helps you in making decisions. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for asking all the questions about decision. We will see you next week. Share this episode. Guys, share it on your social. Tag your friends that might need it. Send it to your friends that might need it. Tag me. I love when you tag me in the episodes and just see it encourages me, right? To keep going, to keep sharing, to keep teaching. It just means the world to me. And keep the questions coming, because I love answering them. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.